Hi everybody, I'm Al Bernstein and welcome to ESPN Home Video's Boxing, Bloopers, and KOs. We've got plenty of action for you. Funny moments, super knockouts, and interesting and entertaining interviews. Now, these interviews were taken from an ESPN series called The Lighter Side of Sports, and they include some pretty big names. Larry Holmes, Evander Holyfield, Joe Frazier, and Marvelous Marvin Hagler, just to name a few. All in all, we think you'll enjoy the next 30 minutes, so stay in your ringside seat as we get ready to rumble.
Let's get ready to rumble. 12 rounds.
I didn't mean literally, guys. That was Larry Holmes doing his best WWF impression by attacking heavyweight contender Trevor Berbick.
Kick me! Punch me right here in front of everybody! Larry Holmes, kick me and punch me!
Yeah, but did his mother take off her shoe and try to waffle your head with it? Only in boxing. And only in boxing are the athletes and announcers so close that the athlete can end up in your lap.
He has landed on the table right in front of us.
Believe me, it's not always easy announcing a fight. Sometimes it's downright confusing.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event, the bout.
Shot, and Leaks is in deep trouble. There was a huge left hand, as advertised there.
He's more off balance now. He caught that left hook.
Later in that round with a textbook illustration of combination punching. In the second round. In Atlantic City a few years ago, ex-champion Larry Holmes was guest on The Lighter Side of Sports. Larry has an image that appears to be at odds with reality. When he was on The Lighter Side of Sports, he was far from the surly, bitter guy often depicted in the press during his fighting days. Maybe he's mellowed, maybe they were wrong about him. Whatever, we found him to be an engaging, honest, and downright funny guy. Here's a collection of Holmes one-liners that we call punchlines. Larry, did you love your fights?
Yeah, I love to think of the check that I was going to get.
Was Jerry Cooney the toughest guy you fought?
He was the toughest, too. You know, he was real tough.
For lasting or hitting hard?
No, Jerry was tough for hitting low. Jerry hit me low. Jerry hit me low so many times I thought he was funny.
What do you think of Marvelous Marvin Hagler?
I think he looks more like Mr. Clean every day.
Larry, how do you want to be remembered?
First of all, I want him to remember me as one of the longest living person on earth.
And that's punchlines from Larry Holmes.
Wow.
Here's a guy named Leland Hardy.
who not only has a powerful punch, but a gifted mind as well. Watch and listen to his post-fight interview here. Leland can speak several different languages.
First of all, pardon me, let me say hello to all of my Asian, Chinese, particularly brothers and sisters out here. 谢谢所有我的中国兄弟看到这个拳击比赛，我是将来的世界拳王了。
And you're right. I agree with you 100%.
I train hard for Charles Campbell. He's a very good fighter.
A less cerebral but no less effective post-fight interview was given by Ray Gray after he knocked out an opponent.
I'm so full of joy. I ain't got that much to say, but what I like to say is, yeah!
Wow.
Boxing is full of characters.
Zorro Santana. And he is duded up for this one.
I love that outfit.
Well, one way to get attention is to wear wild costumes. Another is to get a clever nickname. Here's King Solomon, no doubt full of wisdom and great deeds. And check out Daniel Boone here. The fighter facing us has the nickname of the Mouse. His full name is Bruce the Mouse Strauss. Mouse has fought in over 200 fights, and he has the distinction of being knocked out on 7 continents.
You know, if you didn't know better, you might call Bruce the Mouse Strauss a pug, but that description doesn't apply to the Mouse because he seems to know exactly what he's doing. He knows that not everybody can be Sugar Ray Leonard or Roberto Duran. At the same time, he knows he's a fighter. So how do you earn a living under those circumstances? Well, you become a professional opponent. And believe me, Mouse has made it an art form. So let's examine the life and times of a boxing opponent.
It's a sad thing, but I am the first and the last of a dead breed. You know, there's no pressure. You know, if you win, that's great. And if you lose, that's all right, too, because no one expected you to win anyway. Actually, winning to me is often, not all the time, but often losing with style, grace, and minimum damage. I don't train, Jay. You know, the way I look at it, no, if you train, you're going to be in condition to go more rounds. If you go more rounds, you're going to have to sustain more punishment, so it's not worth it to make a train. I don't have the ability to install pain on contenders or potential contenders without the use of foul tactics. And I can see how people can confuse what I do with taking a dive, but it ain't like that. You see, I punch as hard as I can for as long as I can. And at that point, if I crack the guy with my best overhand right square in the chin, and all he does is grins, well, you know, then I start looking for that soft spot on the canvas, you know? I was fighting the #1 contender over in Africa once, and he hit me with a pretty good right hand the first round. It didn't hurt that bad, but I figure I'd take an 8 count on one knee, shake it off, and get back up and give him a few more rounds. Now Jay, whilst I was on one knee like this, he pushes the referee out of the way, winds up, and the last thing I remember thinking was, this is really gonna hurt, you know? When other fighters, when they wake up in the locker room, I see this all the time, they ask what happened, you know? But when I wake up in the locker room, I know what happened, you know? Hey, I once fought twice in one night, you know? Yeah, this was something. I had just gotten knocked out or in a preliminary fight, and as I was waking up in the locker room, I overheard a loud commotion, which was instigated by the fact that one of the main event fighters had gotten cold feet and left, you know? So I approached the promoter with the idea of me changing my trunks and fighting as my twin brother, you know? The guy had nothing to lose, you know, so I got paid twice that night, you know?
And what was the outcome of both those fights?
I got knocked out that time too, Jay, you know, but you know, I got paid well.
Some other pertinent facts about the Mouse. He's gotten knocked out 3 times in 1 week. He once knocked out his own cut man when he felt he caused him to lose a match. And finally, he's willing to fight in Antarctica if he can convince a promoter to stage a match there. Even though there have always been guys like Mouse around boxing, the game has changed much from the days of Jack Dempsey and Jack Johnson. Remember, back then, there were no neutral corners or standing 8 counts. It was just out-and-out war. Well, we dug up a clip of Primo Carnera against Max Baer that illustrates these changes.
Now Max is the guy throwing and Primo is the guy catching. Down they go, and up they come. And down they go. And up they come. Max goes on the attack again. And down they go. And up they come. Now fast forward 50 years and a different kind of war between Juan Arroyo and Clay Davis.
And down he goes. It is a knockdown. It looked like a low blow. Way low punch. Oh, what a low blow. The body. And that was low. That was low. And they stopping the fight. I think Arroyo is the...
That was one of the dirtier fights I've seen. But this one in Milan, Italy, may take the cake. Of the light heavyweight matchup between Noe Cruciano, he is in the white trunks, and the man hitting him behind the head, as usual, is Jose Sayas in the black trunks. They've landed more punches behind the head than in front. Neither one of these guys could fight, so it became like a street brawl. And the referee also had no clue how to handle the proceedings. Oh, now there's Cruciano, I thought, with a blatant use of the head. Now, you know, I'll tell you something. This fight has been a clinic in dirty fighting. And now a low blow, and this is called a knockdown? My gosh. He got hit with a head in the stomach. Well, that was all we were missing in this fight, a takedown. Well, that does it. It's over. Speaking of inept, we were, weren't we? Take a look at these fellas. They fought in a televised event called the Tough Man Competition. Regular guys off the street, obviously. I want to show you a particular fight refereed by Harry something or other. It's a beaut.
You know what they're cheering? They're cheering Turner fighting back because it looked like Hardy was going to put him away, and Turner came right back at him.
They love that. I'll tell you, I think Hardy can go into Marbell's lounge. Whoa, whoa! We've got two guys that are working on half brains. They're both a little dazed out there.
They're totally
I think Hardy's going to fall on top of him. He knows it's
the official said get up, and Turner said no. Look at his legs. His legs are like rubber.
It's like that rubber chicken that you flop around.
I don't think either man has enough power, Leandro, to knock the other guy out. They're just leaning on each other. Whichever guy falls down the most, I guess, wins. You got to give Turner. If he wins anything, he's going to win the all-harder award.
There we go. Now
they love him.
A rally.
Look, they love it.
Watching those two guys fight was like watching a couple of guys at the neighborhood bar going at it. Plenty of heart, though. Heart. You hear that word all the time in boxing. Now, I've been doing boxing on ESPN for 12 years now, and I've seen many guys with heart, but none with more heart than these two fighters. The fight you're about to see between John LeCicero and Caveman Lee was amazing, one of the best we've ever had on ESPN.
Punching room, a left hook by Lee. A left hook by LeCicero. Lee comes back with a left and a right. Lee with a right uppercut. Another right hand by Lee, and LeCicero is down. He's on his left side. The count is 6, 7, 8, 9. He just beats the count. LeCicero is up at 9. Plenty of time for Caveman Lee. Lee with a left uppercut, a right to the body, a right uppercut. LeCicero has got him in an arm lock. Lee is looking for room. Lee with a right hand. LeCicero takes a left hook. LeCicero takes another left hook. LeCicero takes a right hand. And Caveman Lee takes a right hand from LeCicero. A right uppercut by LeCicero. And LeCicero comes back with a right hand. Another right hand by LeCicero. And LeCicero now has got Lee in trouble. A right hand. Lee is on the ropes. LeCicero is coming back like a madman. It's all John LeCicero here in the 5th round. What a fight.
And either of these fighters could go at any moment. They're both fatigued and they are both hurt. And either man could go down at any moment. And they're both staggering around the ring.
Less than 30 seconds to go. And they are slamming each other with heavy shots. Neither is going down at this point, but there goes LeCicero, a left hook, and he is really hurting. He's on his right side. 8, 9, good night.
Well, that clearly is one of ESPN's most exciting bouts. One of the best authorities on boxing is Bob Arum, a man who has promoted thousands of fights. Given the fact that he's seen them all, we asked Bob to name the wackiest fighter he's ever known.
The wackiest, without even meaning to be wacky, was Leon Spinks. Leon Spinks was a certified wacko. Leon Spinks is fighting the rematch with Ali. He beat Ali in Las Vegas, not a rematch is in New Orleans. And the press is telling me Leon is not behaving himself. He's going out at night, you know, boogieing, and this is terrible, comes in all hours. Well, just the next morning, I denied it. I said, Leon is really training hard. The next morning, I had an early morning meeting. So I go down in the elevator about 7:30 in the morning, and Leon Spinks staggers into the elevator, falls down. So I look at him, I said, Leon, what the hell are you doing? And he says, I just came from my road work.
Leon Spinks, Mr. Wacko. Hey, Leon, you had nice teeth, pal. Sorry, Leon, that's a low blow. No, that's a low blow. Ooh, youch. Whew. Here it is again. Now this is a left-right, below-the-belt combination. That's got to put a damper on a boxer's love life.
I don't want nothing gonna keep me away from the ladies, okay?
Okay, Joe, but how would you like to be the guy in the green here? Every time he goes down, he gets hit. There's number 2. Hey, come on, cut it out. And watch this. Boom, boom. And down again. What's wrong with that, you ask?
Everything.
And why do you say that?
I can't understand why, you know?
You mean you have no idea?
No. I really don't know.
Okay, well, it's a safe bet that this victim didn't know too much either after that shellacking. I can't understand why he didn't just...
Get up! Get up!
You gotta love boxing. Isn't that nice? Hey, why'd you do that? Let's forget the violence and let's have plenty of hugs and kisses. Yeah, that's just...
marvelous.
And so is this. It's boxing, not slam dancing, pal. For pure rhythmic talent, look at those dueling pecs. Flips you out, doesn't it? Yeah, ref, I'm okay, no problem. Just go back to my corner here. Break it up, men. Ah, a little cheap shot.
55 from Chicago, and we're underway.
That bout lasted 5 seconds. Anybody see my contact lens? The fans really got their money's worth here. 2 knockouts for the price of 1. Honey, want to go out tonight? This way, darling. The ref of this bout wins our Best of the Worst award.
Back. He's having trouble getting up. Martin Tabor didn't even pick up the count.
3 times in 1 round, the ref fails to pick up a standing 8 count.
Big left hand, a right, and down goes Lopez. This fight is over.
No, it isn't. The referee didn't even give him a mandatory 8 count.
All 3 were slipped?
Yup. Right.
Strange ruling by that ref. And while we're talking about strange, let's talk about Don King's hair. We asked promoter Butch Lewis and fighter Larry Holmes what they thought about King's famous frizz. Here are their responses.
Well, Don and I right now are not in the best of graces, so I'd prefer not to comment on his, what I would have to say, his electrifying look.
I think Don stuck his finger in the socket a lot, you know what I mean? I mean, it's ridiculous to see that hair standing up like that.
Another of boxing's most controversial figures is Iron Mike Tyson.
Look at the power already from Mike Tyson.
Tyson, boy, you have to like how poised he is right here. He is picking his shots well. He is hurting
One
Denver.
could be over. It is. Joe Cortez stops it.
Tyson's downfall was his apparent inability to control his private life. A few former champions knew trouble was coming years before Tyson's legal problems.
I would put a little, let's say, a little damper, a little net on that to curve that down some, because we all did the same thing, you know. We all lived wild, we did crazy, but we also had somebody there to cover our back, to make sure the thing was handled with care.
Mike Tyson was destructed in about 1.5 years. I think he's on the midst of doing that now. Great fighter, great ability, got a great opportunity to become one of the great fighters of all time, but I think he's got problems.
Well, I'd say Larry Holmes hit it right on the nose, wouldn't you agree? Another fighter who was pretty good at hitting things on the nose was Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Hagler struck fear into his opponents with a face that said, "You're in trouble." The Marvelous One would do up to 15 miles a day in road work getting ready for an opponent.
As soon as they give me my opponent's name, I got my game face ready to go.
Give me some thoughts on some of these boxers. Tell me what you think of them. Roberto Duran.
Ugly.
And you can get away with that.
Oh, yeah.
Tommy Hearns.
Ugly.
Sugar Ray Leonard.
Still ugly, too. Mr. Pretty Boy. Mr. Pretty Boy. I like them pretty guys, you know, they like to jam their face.
Nobody's ever really accused you of being a gentleman in the ring. Is that part of really your game makeup and preparation?
I'm not. They're telling you the truth.
A fighter who shares the Hagler work ethic but expresses himself without the fanfare or hyperbole is Evander Holyfield. We also talked with Evander, and he stressed his determination.
Determination. I was so young, and everybody was much older. My brother thought I would be a sissy because I used to be under my mother all the time. But I learned the fact of life to work hard. Working hard is the key to life. To work hard. The fact of life to work hard. So I play a mind thing. I don't verbally speak out to a person, but when a person get in the ring with me, I'm saying, look, you have no way of winning. I'm like, and he knows that, huh? Yeah, and he get his back shots in. I said, okay, now you mine. You have no way of winning. No way of winning. I fought my best friend, Henry Tillman, and I was the best man in his wedding. I went out and fought him. I beat him. Yeah. It's nothing personal. It's a job. It's a job. It's nothing personal. It's a job. I'm a winner, and each and every time I go out to win in anything. You know, I'm fortunate I'm not good in everything, but I know boxing, I'm the best.
You get the impression from Holyfield that he's a supremely confident man, unfazed by all the attention and the adulation that the heavyweight championship brings with it. Now, all boxers understand that on its most basic level, boxing is a hazardous occupation. It's at once brutal and yet still uplifting. Fans go to a boxing match hoping to see a knockout. And then when it happens, the thoughtful ones wonder why they found such brute violence so appealing.
And sometimes all it takes is one big punch.
Well, you can see why boxing is not for the faint-hearted. One fighter with the heart of a lion was Joe Frazier. Frazier's battles with Muhammad Ali are legendary. Smokin' Joe taught lessons in the boxing ring, and his son Marvis reminded us that his dad also taught lessons in the home. Marvis told us a wonderful story about the time he hit his then-baby sister Jackie. When Papa Joe found out, there was trouble for Marvis.
He came in, and I was pretending like I was asleep. Boom, the door slams open. Get up, boy, you ain't asleep. I'm like, he says, what's this I hear about you hitting Jackie? I was playing, Daddy, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. Oh, nah, I done told you about hitting your sisters. When Daddy's gone, you're supposed to protect your mother and your sisters. Now put on these gloves. Oh, Daddy, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. Let's go down to the zoo.
Oh, he brought you downstairs?
Right, so he took me downstairs. Put on these gloves. So he put the gloves, I'm like, Dad, I didn't mean it, Daddy, I'm sorry. And he has his gloves, he's like, I'm gonna teach you not to hit your sister. And I'm like, oh, Daddy, I'm sorry, Daddy. So then he says, what's the matter? You can't fight? And you know, when you're 12 years old, somebody call you, a sissy or something, right. You're like, ah! So he said, what, you can't fight? I said, ah! He said, oh, you wanna hit your father, huh? Since that time, I didn't have any problem hitting my sister.
Well, that does it for boxing bloopers and KOs. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm Al Bernstein. I'll see you at the fights.